As a producer, I need every kind of sound that I can possibly have at my disposal in my studio. So the solution for me was, you know what, let's upgrade this thing a little bit, and let's see if I can get this as a working studio bass. I can't have enough P bass tone sitting around, you know, need one with rounds, one with flats, one with steel, one with nickel. In my last video, which was full review of this bass, we kind of addressed, do I think it's worth it to spend $75 on this Glarry bass? And the conclusion was, well, yes, I do. And you can check out that video on YouTube, but there's a couple other questions. So what did I do here? Well, for one thing, the stock pickup was not the best. So I actually changed out the pickup. Personal thanks to Jeff for giving me a setup, giving me a pickup upgrade. I had this sitting around, so this is actually the split coil P-bass pickup that comes stock on Squire's vintage modified precision bass PJ. I had changed the pickups in one, so I just traded out the Glary pickup for this one, which sounds pretty good. And then for strings, I wanted to get some better strings than the stock Glary strings that came on it. And so these are LaBellas. And now LaBella is very famous for their flat wound bass strings, but these are actually rounds. These are their RX series bass strings, and they are pure nickel round wound LaBella strings in a light gauge, 40, 60, 80, and 100. And so my thought was this, okay, well, one thing I'm always telling bass players when it comes time to make your bass a little better, make it play a little better and upgrade it a little bit. One thing you want to do is, if it's a really cheap bass, change the pickup and change the strings. You'll be amazed at what those two things will do for your tone and for the playability. And so I thought, okay, if I'm going to make this into, you know, a fourth studio bass to have hanging around, I am going to need it functional. You might really like playing this bass if you're a baseball player, because this neck is thick like a baseball bat. I do not recommend this bass to learn on because it doesn't have the thin profile that regular basses have. For some reason, this neck is incredibly thick, incredibly chunky. I do not recommend learning on a Glary, and I do not recommend it as your main gigging bass. I recommend it as a backup bass. I recommend it as a studio bass, maybe if sometimes you need to plug it in and you know, play a part on recording. That's kind of the reason I'm keeping it around. But I will say this, you know, with the stock pickup, it hummed and buzzed like crazy. And even with this upgraded Squier Vintage modified pickup, it still hums and buzzes like crazy. Like when I take my hand off it, city. And even when I'm playing, there's still a little bit of buzz there. So how's it going to sound in a mix when I use this for recording? How will it sound in a mix? Well, let's find out really quick. This is going to be a worship style track. And let's see just how this will sound in a mix. honestly, I probably will get some use out of this thing when this is the sound that I need. I thought about flat wounds, but I just thought, you know what? I'm more likely to use it with rounds. So a cool upgrade and worth having around. But the question is, can it serve as a good studio bass? It's up to you to decide. If you're looking for something that you're going to just want to play for hours and hours and hours on end, then probably not. But if you want to make upgrades, and if you want to use it for some recording at home, you know, short stints of playing, I don't know. Can it be a good studio bass or not? You see me using it in the studio, but that's a question I want you to answer in the comments. Do you think, from what you've heard and seen, that the Glarry GP bass can make a good studio bass? All stock? No, but with upgrades. So let me know in the comments, in your opinion, can this serve as a good studio bass, or is it simply a waste of bass? So always, God bless you guys. Thank you for checking out this part 2 of the Glarry GP Bass video today. Go on and hit that subscribe button. Hit like if you enjoyed the video. Also, I could really use your help on Patreon so that I can clear more time for making videos and so that I can keep fresh content coming at you on a regular basis and in good quality. God bless you guys, and I'll catch you soon. I have no idea what that was.